Hey everybody, Pastor Matt here. I'm glad to be here with you. I need to talk to you about what we're going to be doing for Sunday. Um, as you know, at the beginning of the week, I mentioned to you how excited I was that we would be meeting together and that we would be finally able to worship, to be able to go into phase two. And let me tell you why I went there and then why I'm getting ready to tell you what I'm getting ready to tell you, especially in light of last night's email, where about 10 o'clock I decided that I needed to communicate with you all to let you all know a little bit about some of our thought processes, but also let you know about some of the confusion and, to be fair, the frustration that I seem to be having with this. I don't like to show you all frustration too terribly much because I don't know. I just don't feel like that it's always helpful. But in this case, I think you need to know a little bit about what we have to deal with. So back on Monday or Tuesday of this past week, our restaurants were opened here, and so me, maybe with just a desire to be able to get everybody together, or maybe just exhibiting a little bit of impatience, began to realize that and began to think, just put two and two together. Maybe I came up with three rather than four. Ended up believing that we were able to get together given that restaurants were able to get together. But I always try to do this in an informed way and not in an impulsive way. So as the week ended up progressing, and so we started trying to get information from you all about which service you would like to go to. And honestly, there was about 30 and 30, 30 for the 8:30 service, 30 for the 10:30 service. Many of you opted to stay at home because of age or pre-existing conditions, or maybe you had been sick. I mean, just a lot of different reasons. So our idea and our goal was to be able to have people gather as best we can. We do know that we want to be careful with this virus because we don't know very much about it, but we want to be careful with this virus. But we also want to be careful with the emotional and the spiritual and the mental health of people because we were created for relationships and community. So at 3:15, our governor was to be talking with some of the clergy, and I would have been privy to that call. I mean, any of us could get in, punch in a code, and be able to ask questions, listen to what the governor is having to say. And we were very much hoping that we were going to get some guidance as far as churches were concerned, thinking that with the restaurants being opened and other businesses being open, with Trump this past Friday, last week, saying that churches were essential, we're piecing all of that together and we're saying, man, let's give this a try. Let's give this a go. But when you have to realize, one, presidents aren't kings. That's why we broke away from England to begin with. Presidents are elected officials with checks and balances. So when Trump came out on Friday, well-meaning, saying we believe that if liquor stores and abortion clinics are essential, then churches are essential. Okay. And what he did was encourage the governors. He did not order the governors to open. He encouraged the governors. But one of the things of checks and balances is that governors and local officials know more about what's happening on their turf than someone in Washington. And so there's a portion of that that I can appreciate. Well, Douglas County now is much more open, and I was able to talk with a police officer who used to attend our church. We're still in communication, so I was able to talk to him. I was able to talk with some other pastors that are in our area, getting counsel, praying, wanting to do the right thing. And so this is where I'm at right now. I'm at right now is that we're going to move this down the road. We're not going to meet on Sunday. We're going to hear more about what the governor is hopefully going to tell us on Monday. To tell you that I'm hopeful that he will give us, and somebody's going to give us some guidance. The Tri-County Health Department is going to give us some guidance. I, I, I wish I could be more hopeful. This is just me being honest. I wish I could be more hopeful, but maybe they will, maybe they won't. In fact, I put in a call to the Tri-County Health Department this morning, and I am still waiting to hear back from them. So I'm going ahead and doing this video based upon what we know. Now, why am I doing this? Well, let me pull out real quick. In fact, I'm going to have to just pause this for a sec. Pardon me. Let me pull out Romans 13. I'll start in verse 1. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. For rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad. That's important. Would you have no fear over the one who is in authority? Then do what is good, and you will receive his approval. For he is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain, for he is the servant of God, an avenger who carries out God's wrath on the wrongdoer. Therefore, one must be in subjection, not only to avoid God's wrath, but also for the sake of conscience. And so we look at this, we have to be very careful when we're dealing through this, because we can kind of get a martyr complex and think that immediately what's happening is that they're coming after churches. And I don't believe that our authorities, at least at this point, this does not seem like that they are coming after churches. This is not persecution. And if we begin to approach it like this is persecution, I believe that's a problem on our part and can actually cause us more trouble and actually get us on the bad side of what God is trying to tell us to do. So this is my authority ultimately comes from God. And what God tells me is that the authorities, now, okay, who is the authority in Roman times? It was Caesar. Caesar was not, whoever Caesar was, whether it was Julius Caesar or whether it was Nero, they were not pro-Christian. They weren't. And Paul here is telling us in the midst of that, where persecution was hitting there, rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad. So we now are piecing together that, one, we don't really know the extent of this coronavirus. People will try to tell us that they know, but we really don't. So we've been over that. I have a responsibility as your pastor to make sure that I am not putting you in a position not only to disobey the authorities who are seeking our welfare, and I really believe that they are. They're seeking our welfare. They're trying to keep us and the citizens under their control, under their purview, safe. Now, again, I said it, under their control. Is there a part of me that is wondering about overreach? Absolutely. All of those things are playing in my mind right now. But for the moment, and as excited as we were, and as excited as I was, and maybe I jumped the gun, and maybe there was a bit of impatience on my part to be able to see you all, I'm going to have to just restrain myself and not just go by what Matt Perry as a person wants to have happen, but what Matt Perry has been called to do as your pastor. So we're going to wait. The word is going to go out. But I sent you all the word about the services are going to go out, but also the capital W word is going to go out still, as it always has. But I just want to tell you this. Whenever a pastor decides to bare his soul and tell people how he's really feeling about things, he takes a chance. Because the moment I became a pastor was the moment that, and every pastor will be able to share this with you, and it's not a pity party thing, it's just the reality of the calling. We cease to be one of the guys. And suddenly there's a little extra level of expectation, and the expectation maybe is that we always have it together, we always know what to do, we always know how to react, we always have our feelings in check, we always know where in the Bible to go, and but we learn, and I am learning about what the scriptures are saying about all of these things. But let me tell you what I learned last night and what I've learned this morning is that you all have been a huge encouragement to me. You have encouraged me every step of the way. You've let me know that you're watching the videos, you're listening, you're appreciating the communication, but to know that you're praying for me. And I'm going to do what I can to make sure that with the help of God and the help of all of you, that we can make sure that integrity and trust are still being built up here as we are communicating all of this to you. It is a major disappointment to me that for whatever reason, the liftings haven't happened on a wider scale. But what we have to realize is we will be together at some point. And we are working diligently to find other ways for us to be together. But as your pastor and as a member not only of Arapahoe Road Baptist Church and as a citizen of the kingdom of God, but also a part of this community, I'm gonna err on the side of caution if I'm gonna err anyway. I do not want ARBC to be in trouble unless there is some breach of God's command that's happening. I do not want ARBC to be in trouble. I do not want you as individuals to feel like you have to make a decision that will be uncomfortable for you. And some of you have expressed that. If we do decide to meet, then, unless, Arapahoe County lifts these restrictions between now and Sunday, then your conscience won't allow you to do that. I respect that. I understand that. And I honestly believe that we're just a few weeks out. I can't go by my timetable. I can't go by my feelings. I can't let my impatience or even my frustration lead the day. I have to pray and seek counsel, which I want you to know I have. Police officers, fellow pastors. I've talked to so many people about this. It's not even countable right now. But for those of you who are ready to help on Sunday, thank you. Now this is going to give us a little extra time to be able to plan and to be prepared and to make sure that we are going to have the absolute safest and cleanest environment that we can provide for you, so that you won't have to be thinking about all of those different things, that you'll be able to come and you'll be able to treasure being with each other. We'll be able to worship Jesus together. We'll be able to hear the word together with a full and ready heart. But I just want to tell you that for those of you who were ready to meet, I'm glad. And for those of you who say you're praying for me and whatever decision is being made, thank you for that. And I'm gonna shut it down right now, so I won't be rambling. Please tune in at 10:31 at arbc.net, or you can come to our Facebook page. And if you do come to our Facebook page and you're on Facebook, please share it to your page, because you don't realize how many people are being connected to ARBC in this moment. The gospel is getting out more than ever. So there is good to be found in the middle of this. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. But that's where we're at right now. And I sure do appreciate the prayers and the support and the encouragement. Keep them coming, because we want to do right by all of you, and we want to do right by our community, and we want to do right by what God has told us in Romans 13. There's the conviction. Thank you so much. Lord willing, we'll be able to see each other in some way. So be praying for wisdom as we find those ways to be able to get together. God bless you all.